When Ethan first learned about mystery boxes from the dark web, he was skeptical about their existence. He believed the YouTube videos featuring grim packages and bloodstained dolls were merely viral tricks designed for views. Yet, a part of him was curious. As a computer science major fascinated by urban legends, Ethan wished to think there was something real and dangerous lurking beneath the surface of the internet. On a chilly October night in his off-campus apartment in Ohio, Ethan made the decision to experience it for himself. He had just received his first student loan refund and, after paying his rent, still had a few $100s left, enough to take a risk. He accessed Tor, followed a Reddit thread to a marketplace resembling a 2001 Craigslist clone, placed an order for an item simply labeled, "Package deal. Do not open around others." No description, no images, just a Bitcoin wallet address and a warning. 3 days later, a box was delivered. It had no return address and no markings except for his name written in red ink. It was heavier than he anticipated, dense, had a faint smell of mold and metal. He paused before opening it, recording on his phone for proof. The box had no internal packaging. Inside were 4 items: a used baby shoe, a Polaroid photo of a man taken from behind, standing in front of a mirror in what appeared to be a hospital, a cassette tape, a sealed envelope labeled, "Play Last." Ethan looked at the shoe first. It was scuffed, torn at the sole, and had something brown crusted on the heel. The Polaroid made him feel uneasy. Although the man's face was not visible, his posture seemed unnatural, as if he had been caught in the midst of a seizure. The hospital mirror reflected nothing but darkness. He gazed at the cassette. He didn't have a tape player. Who even owns one anymore? However, he was already committed. He posted online to see if anyone near campus had a Walkman or stereo. An hour later, a student he barely recognized from a film class offered assistance. They met in the student union, and Ethan inserted the cassette. What they heard wasn't music or a voice, at least not distinctly. It was static for about 30 seconds, then whispering, a distant male voice, as if it were underwater. He took her. She screamed, and no one came. He took her. Under the stairs. She's still there. Still. Then the tape abruptly stopped. Ethan chuckled nervously. The film student did not. "That's messed up," the guy said quietly, then walked away. Ethan returned to his apartment. Against his better judgment, he opened the last envelope. Inside was a note, typed on aged paper, slightly smudged. "Now she knows your name. You shouldn't have listened." There was no signature. The time stop, 3:15 a.m. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He kept picturing the photo, the shoe, the tape. He stored the box in his closet and tried to forget. But then, odd occurrences began. His roommate, Mason, woke him up the following night. "Dude, why were you standing in the hallway at 3 a.m., just staring at me?" Ethan hadn't gotten out of bed. 3 days later, their Ra discovered dead birds lined up outside their door. No one knew how they got into the building. The campus Wi-Fi on Ethan's laptop began redirecting him always to the same message. "She's still there, under the stairs." The real horror struck when Ethan came back to his apartment one evening to find the box open. Mason was missing. The tape lay on the floor, broken. The photo had changed. Now it depicted Ethan standing in his bedroom, asleep. The angle was impossible, lest someone else had taken it from inside the apartment. He called the police. They searched. No trace of Mason, no fingerprints on the box. They suggested it was probably a prank and not to be concerned. But 2 weeks later, a package arrived at Ethan's parents' house in Indiana. It was addressed to his mother. Inside, there was a Polaroid of Ethan captured from behind. He is looking at a mirror. What do we see in the reflection? Only darkness. Jake Foster had been streaming horror content live for almost 5 years. On Twitch and YouTube, He was recognized as Fearfeed, a niche creator who delved into eerie internet rabbit holes, from examining true crime stories to reacting to found footage. His followers appreciated the genuine approach. No jump scares, no phony masks, just pure curiosity. However, recently, Jake's viewership had started to decline. Audiences were asking for more intense content. The Reddit threads he once depended on had become uninteresting. His Discord community kept suggesting one idea: do a dark web deep dive. Stream it, unedited, real time. Initially, Jake dismissed it. He wasn't reckless, but the temptation grew. He began to prepare, setting up a virtual machine, using the Tor browser, employing a VPN, everything he could to remain safe. Finally, on a Friday night in April, he made the announcement: Fearfeed, into the dark web. Tonight, at midnight. Ski went live at 11:58 p.m. The stream was titled, Exploring the Real Dark Web, Live. Within minutes, over 12,000 viewers had joined. Jake turned off chat delays, activated subscriber-only mode, and informed everyone, if I see anything illegal, I'm out. I'm not foolish. He began browsing harmless marketplaces, fake passports, malware kits, counterfeit designer clothes. Boring. The chat wasn't impressed. Click deeper. Go into chat rooms. For red rooms. That last suggestion made him stop. Jake was aware of the rumors live-streamed torture sessions for paying dark web viewers. Most experts considered them urban legends, yet the thought sent a shiver down his spine. Then, a private message popped up on one of the Tor forums. You're streaming? I can see you. Attached was a link. Jake hesitated. He read the chat. Click. IT. Scared. It's probably fake. He clicked. The screen went black for a moment, then displayed a grainy, static-filled video. A single camera focused on a concrete room, bare walls, a hanging fluorescent light, and in the center, a person tied to a chair. Jake blinked, uncertain if it was a prank. Then a robotic voice came through the stream. You are now a participant. On screen, a timer began. 5 o'clock. Below it, 2 buttons. Reveal and ignore. He looked at the choices. His hands shook. What the hell is this? He whispered. The chat was in turmoil. Reveal it. This is fake, right? Don't click anything, bro. This is sick. Jake hovered over reveal. The timer dropped to 3:30. He clicked. The bag was taken away. The captive was a woman in her 30s, bruised and gagged. She stared directly into the camera and her eyes widened in fear. She started shaking her head wildly. Then the stream went black. A message appeared. She saw you. She knows. Jake sat still. The Twitch stream had ended. His software crashed. OBS wouldn't restart. His Discord lit up with notifications. WTF was that? You okay? Twitch banned your account. His email chimed up. His chat permanently shut down his channel for a 2's violation. He tried to explain, but the message only said, your content was flagged for streaming prohibited material. Appeal denied. Then hours. YouTube demonetized his channel. His last upload gone. Fearfeed was finished. But that wasn't the worst part. 3 days later, Jake noticed something odd on his laptop. Every time he opened his browser, a black screen would flicker just for a moment. He thought it was nothing, till the messages started. First, a text at 3:17 a.m. She remembers. Then an email with a photo attachment. Jake opened it. It was a screenshot from the stream, but it wasn't from his camera. It was taken from inside his apartment, from behind him. The woman, now free, was in the photo, standing behind Jake, smiling faintly. He hadn't noticed her. He called the police. They searched. Nothing. He moved in with his brother in another city, threw away his computer, got a new phone, changed everything. But the messages kept coming. Always the same phrase. You saw her, she saw you. Jake has decided not to be recorded anymore. No pictures, No cameras. Even the front camera of his phone is covered with tape. He has stopped streaming. However, every April, around midnight, a new video shows up online. There is no channel name, no tags, starts with static, followed by a soft whisper. Welcome back, Jake. Alex Ruiz was in a tough spot. After losing his tech support job in late 2022, he quickly spent all his savings. Rent was coming up, bills were accumulating, and his student loans were overdue. He applied for many jobs call centers, food delivery, warehouse work. Nothing came through, not even a rejection. Just silence. When he noticed a message in a private Telegram group named Tech Ghosts, he paused, but only for a brief moment. $, high pay for low-risk work. Tech background preferred. DM for details. Confidential. He thought it might be a scam, but his desperation made him less skeptical. He sent a message to the user, Sable Node, and received a reply in minutes. They didn't ask for a resume. Instead, they inquired, "Are you willing to work anonymously? Can you keep secrets?" Alex answered yes to both questions. The job, they explained, would involve data sorting. He would review flagged content on a private server and categorize it by severity. The pay, $2,000 a week in crypto. Work from home. No official contracts. It felt suspicious, but again, desperation. For starting, Alex had to install a custom operating system on a separate drive and connect to the client's server through a secure channel clearly routed through several layers of the dark web. There was one rule: no screenshots, no recordings, no second devices. He agreed. His first day was odd. The interface was minimal. Black background, white folders, each marked with a date and code. Inside, raw video files. No names, no descriptions. He opened the first file. A 5-minute video showed a man sitting still in a chair. No sound, poor lighting. The man occasionally twitched, as if trying to speak, but unable to. Alex watched 20 similar videos. No violence, just people, sitting, staring, some crying, some asleep. One rocking back and forth like a metronome. The folder was labeled intake_1093. He was instructed to report anything that exhibited disturbing behavior. What did that entail? He was uncertain. He flagged the man who was rocking and sent in his report. He received payment the following morning. In the days that followed, the videos began to change. Some featured the same individuals, but in different locations. Occasionally, they were blindfolded. Other times, loud white noise filled the background. Sometimes, a figure would enter the frame face, hidden bringing water or adjusting the camera. No interaction occurred, just maintenance work. One evening, Alex opened a file named out_0239. The title sent a chill down his spine. Inside was a brief video. A woman bound to a chair, blinking slowly. Her head drooped, either unconscious or worse. Then, a distorted voice came from behind the camera. Compliance achieved. Preparing for transition. Alex paused the video. His hands trembled. He attempted to exit the program, but it became unresponsive. Suddenly, the screen flashed white, and a prompt appeared. "You are not authorized to stop. Continue." He clicked yes. The next file began playing automatically. A young man, bruised, spoke softly. "My name is Tyler. I don't know where I am. If anyone sees this, please help. I applied for a job online. Please." Then static. Alex slammed his laptop shut. That night, sleep eluded him. He kept hearing the man's voice in his mind. He reassured himself it was a prank, a psychological evaluation, some strange online ARG or alternate reality game. But then, 2 nights later, an envelope slid under his apartment door. No stamp, no name, just a plain, unsealed envelope. Inside was a USB drive. Alex stared at it for almost an hour before connecting it to a different computer. There was only one file, a screen recording of him working from behind. Every click, every scroll, every flagged file. The timestamp was from 3 days prior. Someone had entered his apartment. The next morning, the messages began. First, on Telegram. You've been loyal. We're increasing your access. Then, on his server portal, a new folder appeared. Live_FEED_01. He paused, then clicked. The screen turned black for a moment, then displayed a grainy live video. A room, bright lights, a familiar chair, a familiar darkness. Then, someone entered the frame. Tia was Tyler, the same man from the video, but this time, alert. His eyes were open. He stared directly at the camera. They made me choose. One more day and I'd be gone, he whispered. But now it's your turn. The feed cut off. Alex stepped back from the screen. His heart raced. He attempted to log off the server, but the program wouldn't shut down. His webcam light turned on. He quickly covered it with tape, then yanked the power cable from the wall. His laptop sparked. It was dead. Then a phone notification from an unknown number. That was disappointing. Compliance expected. He smashed the phone. The next day, Alex moved out. He deleted his accounts, cut off friends, changed cities. But last week, his new router reset itself. Then his new laptop started up with a single window open, a folder labeled intake_2124 inside. One video. A man, unshaven, bloodshot eyes, rocking back and forth. It was Alex. He slammed the laptop shut, but it was too late. The messages had returned.